hobo that just won't let things go is back.
Friday the 13th, Part 3. A new dimension in desperation.
Watch as everyone's favorite environmentalist demonstrates his love for nature by recycling the same tired plot lines.
I guess I fooled you, huh? Sure.
Teaching a group of young adults that living a life full of sin
That sounds good.
can be detrimental to your health.
And all you two are gonna do this weekend? Smoke dope?
All except for murder, which is completely justified.
It's 3 times the thrills,
Sex. You guys are getting boring, you know that?
3 times the chills, and 3 times the gratuitous use of 3D.
That was close.
This edition of Cinema CPR.
I'm Lifeguard Dan.
And I'm Owen the Sloth.
With Brock the Broccoli. Jason, after having one rough night and suffering major trauma to his shoulder, makes the logical decision to forego medical attention in favor of clean clothes. And then he kicks off his raw meat rampage when he encounters Harold, a mild-mannered small business owner with a passion for animals. Who's married to Edna?
God damn it, Harold! I spent all day yesterday washing your clothes. Look what you're doing to them.
A woman with the beauty of an angel and the charm of a cheese grater.
Jerk.
Quite the catch you got there, Harold.
But that was just an appetizer to tonight's main course. I give you
The Stoners Chuck and Chili.
Heavy shit.
The Comedian Shelley.
My friends.
God damn it, Shirley. Why do you always have to be such an
The Sluts Debbie and Andy.
How do we do it?
Well, first we take our clothes off, and then you get on top of me, or I could get on top of you.
The Foreign Exchange Student Vera.
What are they saying? I don't know. I spoke Spanish. Hi, everybody.
And rounding out the cast, we have this film's final girl, Chris.
Rick.
My imagination, or did it just get cold in here?
a group of young adults without a care in the world.
Hey, let's share the wealth of those less fortunate up front here, huh?
Or access to any news source.
8 corpses have been discovered in what is already being called the most brutal and heinous crime in local history.
I hate to break it to you, but that's not your imagination. That's a body bag.
Not even a double homicide or clear warning from this film's Ralph ripoff
I have warned thee!
will deter them from this weekend's festivities at Higgins Haven, where we meet Chris's boyfriend, Rick.
Hello, Rick. How are you?
Well, that's a start.
A man with the emotional depth of a Molly-riddled virgin on spring break.
So what I think we should do, set aside 3 hours a day to fulfill our needs. 1 in the morning, and 2 at night.
Then, after Shelley proves that a sense of humor is no match for a six-pack of abs,
Ass.
he tags along with Vera to the local convenience store for supplies.
That'll be $18.50. We don't accept no food stamps.
Aw, snap.
Where they have a run-in with the world's most diverse gang since Street Thunder. And in an effort to get into Vera's dirty taco, Shelley musters up the cojones and stands up for himself.
What are you doing?
We went too far this time.
Teaches us all that the quickest way to a woman's heart is attempted vehicular manslaughter.
I did it! I did it! I did it! Did I do it?
Yes, you did it. You were great.
That was great!
But this victory is short-lived because even though they have no means of tracking them down, the biker gang manages to locate them, where they come up with the brilliant plan to get revenge by setting them on fire.
Instead of the much more logical choice of just exchanging insurance information.
It's here where Jason exploits the gang's poor vision and uses it to dispatch his own form of vigilante justice.
Reminds me of waking up every morning back in high school.
And in a desperate attempt to give her some kind of backstory, later that night, Chris reveals to Rick how she once dreamt about beating up a cold, wet homeless man who didn't conform to modern standards of beauty.
I'll never that horrible face, never.
While the rest of the group hangs back to do what 20-somethings did before the advent of high-speed internet.
Nice.
It's here where Shelley learns that personality means nothing when you look like a young Jeff Frost on the set of Welcome Back, Carter.
I was thinking that maybe, we could...
I don't think so.
But what Shelley lacks in his sexual prowess, he more than makes up for when he inadvertently makes the single most important contribution in slasher film history.
That'll teach you a valuable lesson. Beautiful girl like you should never go out in the dark alone.
And it's through his sacrifice that the legend of Jason in his full form is finally realized.
Hey, now cut that out right now. That's not funny.
All hail the king.
But the fun has only just begun, as Jason unleashes his overwhelming jealousy when he decides to split up Debbie and Andy. Quite literally.
Wait a minute. I know it's Jason and all, but how did he manage to chop a body in half? Clean up what had to have been a massive crime scene, stuff a body into the rafters, and do all this in less than a minute?
Artificial intelligence.
Man, I hate that shit.
And let's not forget Chuck and Chili.
Who?
You know, Chuck and Chili, the stoners.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot they were in this movie.
How come you never scream when we have sex?
Give me something to scream about.
Poker? I barely knew her.
And because Jason has run out of victims, Chris and Rick conveniently return, only to discover that something is not right.
Rick! Where are you?
And thanks to some poor depth perception and shoddy deck construction, she narrowly makes her escape, only to be foiled by dry rot. But lucky for her, she managed to find Jason's Achilles heel, when the man who has killed over a dozen people has survived multiple life-threatening injuries, including holding his breath at the bottom of a lake for years, is easily thwarted by rolling up a window. And instead of making her escape through the woods where Jason would have zero chance of catching her due to a prior ginsu to the old kneecap, she instead opts for Plan B, to hide in the completely safe confines of the barn. It's here where she makes her final stand against Jason's murderous clutches, by cleverly camouflaging herself in the barn's loft to get the drop on him.
Seriously? He couldn't bother to check the one blind spot in a loft that couldn't be more than a few hundred square feet?
But what Friday the 13th would be complete without numerous false endings? Even Allie makes his return to lend a helping hand. But even this slashing superhero has his limits. And instead of making the logical decision and getting the heck out of Dodge,
she instead decides to wait until daybreak to take a nap in a canoe surrounded by corpses and water that's only knee deep.
well, there you have it. Friday the 13th, Part 3. A movie that teaches us that it's okay to have plot holes, just as long as you can fill them with film gimmick exploits that come around every 15 years or so. A movie that leaves us with just as many questions than it does answers. Like, why does Rick say this?
Something is burning. Lights aren't working either.
Despite plenty of evidence to the contrary. How come no one noticed the camera crew that was following them the entire time? And last but not least,
Seriously, how does nobody ever notice this guy?
so write your answers in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, why not show us a little love by enlisting in and spreading our weekly complaint fest to the masses? Or else...